just so well, like the back of his hand. But as we go into grand finals, it will be, once again, Jakal versus the great Gonzales. And as we approach this grand final, we would once again like to thank you for joining us on Master Hand Gaming. Max Ketchum is the announcer, bringing you top 8 action here today. And we can't thank you enough for supporting local Smash, for supporting Jersey, and 2 of Jersey's finest going to be fighting it out for the crown. Who wants to be king? Welcome to Grand Finals!
All right, let's see who's going to bring the heat here. Jakal certainly did that in Winners Finals, man. It was a fairly close, definitely competitive set, but at the end of the day, it just looked like Jakal was too clean, meeting Gons in the air with these back airs every time he anticipated him swinging. Palutena, great if she can crush through your hitbox with her back air. Not so great when she has to trade. Neutral air, multi-hit move, it's going to do just little tiny pieces of damage over and over. Oh, that's a death.
My!
No, it's not. Never mind. He had his jump. Okay.
Oh, you know, great Gonzales, never scare me like that again. Goodness gracious. That was worrying for a second. Maybe trying to go Jakal into a false sense of security, or he just forgot he had his jump. Who knows? We'll let you judge at home, folks.
I'm pretty sure Gons just did a panic air dodge and was smart enough to keep his jump intact, but wow. Jakal gonna send him to the depths with that Wolf Flash. We've seen him get a lot of surprise kills with that, and with his up B today. So we'll see if the trend continues. Off to a good start here, of course. Love the empty land into dash dance. Picks up a grab. Wolf gets so much off of his throws at these low and mid percents. And of course, your opponent's gonna know that he also gets a ton off of his landing aerials, namely forward air. So when they're intimidated into their shield like that, or just to press a button, try to stuff you out, you get a really nice mix-up, condition them pretty heavily.
And again, Jakal, I mean, honestly, I'm still kind of reeling from that Wolf Flash, if I'm being completely honest.
Same.
That's what a way to start things off. And Jakal has firmly established himself in this matchup. The great Gonzales, it's not going to be as easy for you as it was the last 2 sets, says Jakal. And these two have fought so many times before. It's an absolute classic matchup in places like Spectrum or Platinum Star, where we have seen these people go at it and so familiar with each other, but at the same time, you get so much mileage from these 2 sets. You get so much enjoyment. There's something about it. It feels like it's so momentum based. It's so, they know each other so well, but the great Gonzales, again, knowing that Jakal was going to approach, he's been going for that dash attack at ledge all day. He was bound to get that grab.
Yeah, it's a great way to pick up landings and apply some pressure, but Gons, this guy is the master of picking up those back throws at the edge. He'll put himself in the corner intentionally and just play so cleanly, pick very few panic options from that position, just because he knows that he has a potential kill to follow. Jakal, though, gonna answer with forward tilt. Now we get a forward air out of shield. Yes, right into the down throw dash attack. Ooh, almost with the tech chase to keep it going.
Yeah, there you go. But great Gonzales with that nair, Jakal punishing upon landing. And that's the thing. If Gons finds himself getting a little button happy, Jakal will certainly oblige by punishing him for such a transgression. Oh, reflects the auto reticle. Maybe
there we go.
Beautifully countered. And he knew he was looking for it. Great Gonzales will find himself with his, I think, 7th straight victory on stream.
7? Oh, like matches, individual matches. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Man,
he 3-0'd the last 2 opponents, and there we go.
Yeah, goodness gracious, we have seen a lot of Palutena wins here today, folks. And in fact, you're pretty used to this as we go to Pokemon Stadium for game number 2. You saw, I think you commentated what? Every single match in top 8 had at least a Palutena or a Wolf at Scarlet Classic?
At Scarlet Classic? Yeah, I think so. These characters, of course, very popular nationwide, but especially here in Tri-State. Got not only Gons, but got DeBuzz when he feels like it, Jen, Utopian Ray, Frozen. The list goes on. And then Wolves aplenty as well.
Indeed. So Jakal, and indeed he was in grand final. I don't know why I say indeed so much. It's kind of like my verbal crutch. But either way, Jakal was in grand finals of that as well, eventually succumbing to Jen. But it was very late, to be fair. So we'll have to see how that works out in the vacuum. The dash attack by Jakal. looking to get back on the winning track and break the 7-match winning streak of the Great Gonzales here on stream.
Yeah, Gonz's momentum getting vacuumed up right there. Clean 0 to death from Jakal. Finally see Gonz getting some hits in edgewise, but Jakal just showing the power of his conversions, man. Every time this guy touches you at lower mid-percents, taking a bare minimum of 30. And then on the upper end, 80, 90 unanswered, 100.
Oh, looking for the down air. Will not find it. The Great Gonzales able to evade, but for how long? I mean, that wolf waiting in the grass, ready to strike, almost at will. However, the Great Gonzales will have to poach his kills off stage. Easier said than done, however, against the jersey number 6. Or is it 5? Yeah, no, that's right. He is 5.
4 and 5.
Yeah, Leon is 6. That's right.
Yep.
Spectrum Smash Leon.
What a ridiculously strong state we
What
live in,
attack.
man. And I feel like we're still somehow criminally underrated.
Yeah, no, it's a little nuts. But then again, luckily, we have a platform like Master Hand Gaming to show the world what Jersey is capable of.
Oh,
charging
Jakal,
the
you are
smash.
the bravest man of all time. If Gonz just popped an up smash out of shield of his own, hit him while charging so he took that extra knockback, that would have been sick. But either way, we're still going to see him even up the stock count. Oh, for how long, though? Jakal just popping that back air. I think that's really his calling card, is these rising auto-cancel back airs. Gets him so much really safe pressure. Wolf's back air actually hits frame 13, but it can auto-cancel as early as frame 19. That's such a small gap between the hitbox being active and him being able to land with no lag.
Huh. Wow. I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, people, when we were talking about Wolf earlier on yesterday, and I kind of alluded to Wolf almost being the new Bayonetta in terms of how people employed it. Now, obviously, there's nothing as quote-unquote broken as Smash 4 Bayonetta in this iteration of the game. That's nothing even close. But there is definitely a difference between you have a lot of people with a pocket wolf, and there's a lot of a very visible, very clear difference between people who main wolf and the people who have a pocket wolf. I mean, there's a sort of intimacy with the character that allows you to do a little bit more and get more out of it, as opposed to doing like the standard meat and potatoes wolf stuff that you see a lot of the pockets do. And the same was true in Smash 4 too. Like, everyone had a pocket Bayo, but then there were the Bayo mains who really, like, I mean, they were the pro drivers that took the Ferrari for a ride.
I would liken it more to Cloud. You know, I feel like less people picked up Bayo, but everybody played Cloud. Cloud was everyone's second best character in Smash 4, and it's the same in Ultimate with Wolf.
No, that is absolutely true. In fact, it was Philadelphia's Pocket Cloud. Oh my, the up smash from Jakal wasn't exactly an up air in neutral, but nonetheless, an up smash is going to take it. I had to make a Cloud joke.
Which Cloud are you talking about, Spearow or Waidu?
I am talking about Spearow, in fact. Yeah, no, the Pocket Cloud that gave us so many good matches at the end of Smash 4's life cycle.
Yeah, that wasn't a pocket by the end, yeah.
Yeah, no, by the end, no. Yeah, we barely saw that Yoshi except in doubles. So, and that I feel like that's only because we wound up banning Cloud.
Yeah, I was gonna say for a second, I was like, wait, why would you play Yoshi instead of Cloud? Oh,
yeah,
right, you couldn't. You couldn't play Cloud in doubles.
Indeed. So we are all drawn up at 1. The Great Gonzales going back to Pokemon Stadium.
Oh, Jakal looking like he had the clean tech chase with that forward air. Didn't matter. Caught Gonz's immediate panic spot dodge with the long-lasting hitbox of neutral air. Now we see Jakal laddering this man, though. Oh, a 4th, 5th up air. How are you going to land? Jakal looking like he wants to land aggressively right on Gonz so bad. Y'all put it on Gonz, bro. But, yeah, that was crazy. How many hits in a row he just got, especially because each up air is like 4 or 5 hits.
Oh, gets back thrown. And the Wolf Flash not able to get ledge. You're pretty much married to that trajectory, and Great Gonzales taking full advantage.
You can angle it up or down, actually. A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Would it have been enough to grab ledge, though?
Right, exactly. And also, you saw him do directional air dodge and then Wolf Flash landing on stage. As of 3.0, that's not going to get you out of the lag like it used to. Thanks, Sakurai, because that was honestly kind of annoying.
Yeah. I mean, they had to tame the wolf somehow.
It's very difficult to do that, I hear.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to do that now, quite frankly, as Jakal is showing, but the Great Gonzales doing so rather impressively, sitting at 128%. He's getting a little jump happy. Jakal's going to punish that eventually, but the question is when.
right? And Gons knows that he can throw these back airs relatively safely. Of course, got a decent amount of landing lag, just enough to slip in there with a burst option like dash attack. And that means Jakal has to be looking for it with the eagle eyes. And sometimes she can recover quickly enough just to throw her shield out anyway. Like her actual bubble shield, not the...
Oh, a footstool by Jakal and the great Gonzales. Not looking none too happy about that. And
Either way, he's
Jakal,
got a fat lead.
yeah. I mean, if you're Jakal, you're taking your kills however you can get them. You're having a devil of a time landing on Pokemon Stadium. And he does grab ledge off of the Wolf Flash that time. But Great Gonzales, again, all he needs to do is pick his spot and attack, and all of a sudden, he has the stock lead again. And it would help if you didn't do that mid-sentence, Gons, because it's kind of harshing my vibe, you know?
Yeah, I like how Gons is using the falling up airs to escape disadvantage. Just provide this constant hitbox above you. It kills if your opponent messes up their follow-up. A lot of good stuff going for it. We're going to see Jakal back to the wall again. Gons, if he wins this game, he's well on his way to a bracket reset. There's so much on the line right now, but I feel like if Jakal does run the comeback, that might just take the wind out of Gons' sails and send him to a second-place finish in the 4th game of the set. Either way, there's still a lot of Smash to be played before we're even at that territory. Gons showing no signs of dropping the stock anytime soon. Really playing his lead fully.
I have to say, Jakal is pressing a lot of buttons in the face of the great Gonzales, but he is getting out of the way relatively efficiently, and that is to be commended because great Gonzales, he knows how to punish those very well. That's not going to kill at 97%, but the Wolf Flash countered again. Great Gonzales with a 2-stock victory, a statement being made from the jersey number 4.
Really coming alive here in Grands. Whereas in Winners Finals, I don't know, man. That performance wasn't bad by any means, but Jakal was firmly in control. Here we're seeing a much different story.
So now the Palutena Wolf once again in Grand Finals. Stop me if you've heard that before, Max Ketchum. And
I can't imagine that ever happening, especially in the great state of New Jersey.
Yeah, I know. Hey, man, dare to dream. Okay, like at a college tournament, nonetheless. Like, what?
Definitely no deja vu whatsoever.
What could what else could the mind come up with? But nonetheless, deja vu. We have been to this place before. It's Pokemon Stadium 2.
Oh yeah, on this stage of all stages, this is just so foreign to me. Oh, back air to Explosive Flame? Okay, couldn't keep reaching with the auto reticle, and we're actually going to see one tick of Fire Wolf, which has no fire, interrupt Palutena on that edge guard sequence.
Oh, looking for the grab, not finding it. Will settle for putting Jakal in disadvantage. I know, what a world, but he's doing pretty all right for himself, all things considered. Jakal just allowing himself to get hit a little too much. Is this now I do have a question. In your opinion, is this Jakal getting sloppy, or is this just the great Gonzales finding his hits consistently?
I think Gons is just turning it up, man. I mean, Jakal has been off the sticks, whereas Gons has been just going in, like you said, 7 games in a row uninterrupted until Jakal had something to say about it. But I don't know, man. Set 2 is really where we'll see the truth of the matter.
If we get there.
If we get there. Jakal, of course, wants to do this as cleanly and easily as possible. I don't know what happened there, if Gons bounced off the edge or just picked a really awkward angle to avoid getting 2-framed. But Wolf, his weakest department by far is that recovery. We're going to see Gons take full advantage of that, going up 2 stocks now. Oh, man, these frame traps are so dangerous. At low percents, Palutena down throws you, and then you try to get out of it however you can. Doesn't matter, she's going to be right there and still able to cover.
Back throw, 66%, and man, oh man, how many times have we seen that back throw sitting in shield? And eventually it will be Jakal that wins the staring contest. He'll use that dash attack.
It was up tilt. Yeah.
Well, it was up tilt. You're right.
Yeah,
Look,
just did the immediate dash into up tilt, though.
You're right, and got that little slide, and I'm just looking for dash attack. You know what? I see Wolf's feet flying, and I just kind of assume.
Exactly, yeah. Reasonable mistake, for sure. We're going to see Gons try to 2-frame with that down tilt, one of the best tools to do so due to its long active frames. Great range. All right, he's kicking, literally. But unfortunately, just going to eat an up tilt, and we got a bracket reset.
That might just be convulsions at this point, Max Ketchum. Is that Wolf definitely put down by a score of 3-1, and all of a sudden, it's a whole new ball game. Max, I gotta say, I am very impressed by the great Gonzales, but Jakal, he's not exactly a loser by any stretch of the imagination. This kid is an absolute fighter, and as we go back to Pokemon Stadium for game number 1 of this set made anew, what does he need to do? What does he need to adjust in the face of the great Gonzales?
I think he's getting caught by these back throws and the landing traps super hard. All these air dodges that he's doing, whether it's using his air drift plus the neutral air dodge to try to mix Gons up and minimize his landing lag, or just a directional air dodge out, but really most of these neutral air dodges, Gons is all over that. This man used to make so much money off of air dodge and Smash 4 in his own hands that I'm sure he's able to destroy anybody using it against him. Oh, just way too short of the edge there.
Yeah, missed the tech as well, and he will pay for it with the first stock. However, great Gonzales, it was just like game 1 of last set. They traded it off stocks relatively quickly, and now it's Jakal who will find himself on the back foot, down tilted. I mean, he connects with that so consistently. Does the great Gonzales? It's actually pretty admirable. It's not as easy as you think to catch Wolf's recovery.
Yeah, Gon's putting him in the blender, man. So many nairs over and over again. Jakal finally getting a word in edgewise. All right, using, again, that neutral air dodge plus Wolf's amazing air drift to slip out a disadvantage. And hints of the first set right there with that up B, scooping Gons from a position of full stage control. Just not enough. That angle, not too great for Palutena off the stage, the way her neutral air sends you. It sends you very high, so characters will live that a lot longer than it looks. Either way, though, Gon's immediately responding. Yet another back throw that's been his primary breadwinner here. Sorry, primary breadwinner.
But how big would this win be for Jakal? I mean, just in terms of garnering momentum, this is the 5th game that these two individuals have played against each other today, if I'm not mistaken.
5th game in Grands.
5th game in Grands, you're absolutely right.
I think Winners Finals was, what, 3, or Winners Semis was 3-0 or 3-1?
It was 3-0.
3-0, yeah.
Yeah, 3-0. So, great Gonzales, I mean, he came back from a 3-0 win, 3-0 loss, excuse me, the Blazing Pasta in Winners Finals last night at Platinum Star Smash. So, he's used to facing adversity, and he's used to resetting brackets. He's done so 2 days in a row. This time facing a Wolf instead of a Peach. Oh my! And the great Gonzales asserting his dominance over the Alpha Wolf, and will find himself with a 1-0 lead. And that Wolf has yet to mark its territory on Pokemon Stadium. Jakal needs to do something to start asserting his dominance.
I think he just needs to be picking better options out of disadvantage. Gon seems to have a really solid read on Jakal's habits and just kind of the cycle of options that he'll pick when he's coming down to the ground or getting off the edge. As a result, he's been making so many extra openings for himself. Just gonna see him wait at the edge. Yep, shield grabs the neutral air. Gon's not afraid.
Gon's, I think, trying to, not really sure what he was doing going high. I mean, you know what? Get whatever practice that you can trying to extend the stage outward, which he's been doing incredibly well. He is not afraid to chase Jakal at all. But frankly, I feel like Jakal hasn't been making him afraid to chase. And as we saw, a 0 to death, the great Gonzales, 0 cielo en los ojos. The great Gonzales.
Yeah. Absolutely not a
ojos, right?
ojos.
Yeah, there we go.
Sí.
Sí, viví en Costa Rica por 3 meses. Así que necesito.
Yeah, you had to learn, man.
Sí. Mi español es basura, pero. Either, okay, I'm gonna stop.
I get it. I understand Spanish, and in a better state, I may have been able to respond better. But either way,
it's all good, man. It's all good.
El Gonzales grande tiene cojones grandes.
Oh my! El back air is going to. Oh, the counter. Excuse me. El alto.
Hey, man, let's just keep it going.
Yeah, let's just keep it. Okay,
en
it's all good.
inglés,
We're all good.
por favor.
We're all good. Yeah, I tried to get cheeky with it, man. And that's what you do. You get cute, and all of a sudden you start losing stocks. And Jakal, on his last stock here at Pokemon Stadium 2, eventually that tilt's going to put the Great Gonzales off stage. But I mean, he's Great Gonzales again with that grab. And I don't even think it really is just everyone finds himself in that situation. Eventually that F-tilt will kill, but one more of those, or two more of those, and Jakal will find himself down to a last game situation. And that's tough, but what is it about the Great Gonzales that lets him get that so consistently on the ledge? I mean, it's like clockwork with the consistency with which he gets that.
Yeah, one thing you gotta know about Gonz is that he's a master of so many games, right? This man has almost every single N64 title. He plays a whole bunch of random, just silly games, but he cracks them open to an expert level. I compare him to someone like DeBuzz or John Numbers, who really does the same thing. And little timing mini games like that, I'm sure he's extremely comfortable with. And no mini game involved with that. A back throw, he's been playing that since Smash 4 with Ness. Just when your opponent's in the corner, if you corner yourself a little bit harder, you can pick up a kill like that.
I would absolutely love to challenge the Great Gonzales to that Drowsy mini game in Pokemon Stadium. That was
Yep.
I could never figure that out as a kid, but I feel like
He'd probably wax you, man. That's his specialty, is random mini games that nobody has ever cared about for a second in their lives.
He would probably body me if I'm being completely honest with myself. Either way, it's going to be Jakal looking to stay out of the body bag here as the Great Gonzales has him to a last game. He's up 2-0. Jakal, he's going to have to pull out something special in the face of the jersey number 4 if he wants to claim the crown as king. Neutral air. And I mean, that's been one of his better options all day. The Great Gonzales, though, has not really approached enough for him to be hitting that consistently, at least out of shield. And Jakal, he needs to start making Gonz just start missing a little bit more. He needs to be utilizing that shield just a little bit more, I think. Or really, what's your analysis on this?
I feel like we've only seen Gonz playing from ahead.
Yeah.
The entirety of this grand final set in half. But now that Jakal's got some momentum on his hands and Gonz has to approach, this is where we're going to see the tide start to shift. Yeah, see, Gonz on that chase down. Palutena's approach options, not all that great. It takes a special kind of Palutena to play very aggro like this. Again, someone like Jen, I would give the edge in a situation like this over Gonz. But either way, now we're going to see Jakal get to capitalize fully on Gonz out of his element right now.
Could the flow of the game start to be diverted? The dam that Jakal has built, will it be enough?
Oh, saved his jump though, very smart. Initiating the first up B without using it.
Well done by Jakal, however, not able to punish off the perfect shield. And he does get that trade and is able to garner a kill. And all of a sudden, a last stock situation, Jakal never been one to go down without a fight. And indeed, his last stand right here in this game number 3, kill or be killed for jerseys number 5.
Yeah, up 3 stocks to 1 though. I'm liking the odds of us seeing a 4th game here, Stu. We're gonna see Gonz finally respond. That up air on the way back to the stage. He's been using that to great effect out of disadvantage, as well as on the offense too. So yeah, here we go. Once you miss a tech on the platform, oh, if he had only gotten the last hit, we could have seen yet another up air and possibly more to follow.
Neutral air, tags that Palutena in the face, and again, yeah, Gonz with a lead and Gonz from behind are two vastly different players. It's
absolutely
pretty evident from this. However, we haven't seen a whole lot of a sample size of the latter. To be completely fair, it will be Jakal taking game number 3. The young man's not done yet.
2-1 here. If he can win the next 2 straight, Jakal will be your champion, but Gonz, of course, with half the amount of work to do and tons of momentum. Again, he won 5 straight against Jakal. 3-0'd him, and then, Jakal got 1 in the first set. So either way,
yes,
he's been winning the vast majority of these encounters.
He won game
since
number 2
the winter
in
semis.
Yeah.
Right. So now that my man Jakal's on the board, as long as he's able to start on the right foot here, if he gets a lot of damage or an early kill, then we'll see Gonz continue to flounder. And be struggling. But otherwise, I don't know. With an opening like this, almost 50 right off the bat, this is really, really comfortable for our more defensive-minded player here.
This will be the 13th game in a row we have seen from the great Gonzales. He has won 11 of them. An absolutely great run of form from the great Gonzales. To see if he can finish things off here. But what a smash at ledge, and the great Gonzales will be made to pay for just the slightest of errors. Jakal is an exacting taskmaster, and he will claim the first stock for the second game in a row.
Let's see if Gonz is able to run the comeback, though. That seems to be where he's just not as able to excel. And Jakal, when you're coming to him, he knows how to stuff you out using those big, juicy hitboxes. He's also got that laser that I feel like we haven't been seeing too much of. Maybe just paying Palutena due respect for having a reflector, but there are a lot of situations in which she can't afford to throw that out, where the laser can be used to just build some extra damage.
Indeed, at the very least, try to get that Palutena jumping up into the air. Try to provide some sort of anti-air option. However, the great Gonzales, a jump and a back air and a kill, a tit and a tat, and a how about that from the great Gonzales, who finds himself 2 stocks away from a championship.
And just as I was talking about how Jakal could afford to use some lasers, he tries one, Palutena jumps over him and smacks him in the head with that back air. Either way, this lead continuing to grow for Jakal. Solid kill move away from having a massive advantage in this match. And hey man, we're kind of on track to go to a 5th game, are we not?
Could very well be so if the fates allow it. But Jakal does get Palutena into disadvantage. Air dodges, is unable to make it back. And yeah, you saw that that word that I will not repeat uttered from the great Gonzales. None too happy about that. Missing with the air dodge, and by the time he was able to act, it was just a little too late, Max.
Jakal making sure to pepper in that taunt there, maybe trying to put Gonz on tilt. I feel like Gonz can tilt a little bit, but he's also really good at tilting his opponents, just because his playstyle is so frustrating. He doesn't want to press forward if he doesn't have to. But this comeback becoming a bit more of a reality here. We've seen Jakal play with the lead excellently, both of them really. Once they get into the lead, it's just very hard to strip it back from them. And I think for Jakal, it's due to a little bit of a lack of patience, and for Gonz, it's due to less aggressive prowess than most players, but extreme defensive prowess.
It's a very opportunistic playstyle that the great Gonzales employs, and indeed he finds his chance and then strikes with a back throw. Does have Jakal down to his last stock. However, Jakal not playing with any fear in his eyes. Little early with the down smash, but he makes up for it with the F tilt. Will he find it? He will. Jakal fighting back, hacking and slashing his way to a game 5. This is what it's all about, Max Ketchum.
That was quite the amazing edge guard too. He just knew, I'm going to 2-frame you with forward tilt. I don't have to take any risks whatsoever. It's one of the big strengths of Wolf, that he doesn't have to go off stage to hit you where it hurts. Gonz looking a little bit more frazzled than before. Jakal seems to be back on his feet. Let's see where this game 5 takes us. It's going to be the same stage that we've seen for the vast majority of this tournament. Pokemon Stadium 2. Nothing to fear for either of these guys. No great inconsistencies or polarizing factors about the stage, and that's why you see them both comfortable to counterpick here.
A play in 9 parts, and we have reached the final act. Which one will be the last on stage for the encore? The great Gonzales trying to assert his will over this match as he has in the past, in the first 2 games of this set, and what a great start, a 0 to death. The great Gonzales, el protagonista del ring.
Yeah, this is just so about who gets the stronger opening. That's what I was going to say before Gonz 0 to death Jakal, and then he's 0 to death Jakal. So let's see if the prediction plays out into reality. Finally getting a hit in. Jesus, Jakal really getting messed up for the beginning of this match, and now you have a huge brick wall to get through. Not only Gonz's playstyle, but also the hitboxes of Palutena, the ability to shut off your own hitboxes when you try to challenge her. It's just so difficult to make a comeback against this character.
But try he will. Jakal sees the end in sight, makes it to game 5 against all odds. It felt like. I mean, I honestly thought that Wolf was cooked. after game number 2. It felt like it. Jakal looked demoralized. The great Gonzales, however, let's face it, cracked the door, but here he is trying to slam it shut in the face of his peer and a worthy adversary in Jakal. What can he do? He'll have to not only reverse 3-0 him in terms of games, but reverse 3-0 him in stocks.
Yeah, this is a rather tall task, I would say. But these guys, of course, bitter rivals. I mean, they don't hate each other or anything, but being number 4 and 5 on the PR and throughout Smash 4, exchanging sets as well, this is certainly hotly contested. Neither of these guys wants to drop it to the other.
It's back and forth between these two. It has been ever since Smash 4, and it will certainly continue to be. It has been a war of attrition to the bitter end, and one will break upon the other. And right now, it looks as if that will be Jakal back into disadvantage. Looking to administer the killing blow is the great Gonzales. Looking for the pickup, gets back to stage, but again, the Gonzales, the great Gonzales.
Yeah, not just the regular Gonzales, it's the great one.
Exactly, yeah, best that I check myself.
Okay, we got an up tilt coming out in the middle of that scramble, finally getting a stock for Jakal, but man, he basically needs a perfect stock, and then most of a perfect stock to bring this back.
Oh, well done to tech on the platform, and misses with the up air, does the great Gonzales. I mean, Jakal, he'll have to stave off death a myriad times, and maybe a 0 to death to match the one that the great Gonzales had to begin this game, but that's a tall task, especially against Palutena. But the back air, is that gonna do it? Yes, it will. The great Gonzales, somehow, some way, in the face of adversity, he fights back and the light shines down. Gonzales is king. Long may he reign.
And we've got one of the TOs presenting the trophy to him as well. Gon's just not much for theatrics by any means. I think he's just going to take this and run as fast as he can. But, man, what he is into is clutch gameplay. I feel like this guy, when he's pushed to the brink, he always will find a way, right? He'll dig deep within himself, find the patience that he needs, right? Get those crazy openings. Again, that whole set boiled down to who did better on the first stock in every single game. And not even just on the first stock in terms of who took it, but even the first 50, 60%. It's very difficult to make a comeback from that point. So I got to give major props to Gons for pulling that one off as he just walks backstage, shaking Chris's hand. He's, of course, probably very happy with this result. Yeah. Jakal, going to have to hit the lab, come back next time. And I think with the exception of that winner's finals or winner's semifinal set that they played, this is just one of a large number of losses that Jakal has taken to Gons recently. So that rivalry, of course, bitter, white hot. You know, these guys really don't want to lose to each other. That spot underneath Nairo James' wishes, very much up for debate. So props to Gons for taking it this time. Props to Jakal for getting one on the board anyway. But, of course, props to both of them for making it all the way to the top 2. Rounding out our top 8, we had Atomisk in 3rd place. Very respectable finish.
Indeed.
4th went to Straw Hat.
Yep.
5th was Dark Matter and DNA. Really impressed by DNA's gameplay today.
That's not the last we've seen of him.
I don't think so. And then in 7th, it was, help me out here, for Lukaska.
Yeah.
And
oh man, I am
Envy.
Yeah, that's right, Envy.
Go.
Yeah, you go. 2 DDDs in top 8. 8 incredible performances all throughout the day. But in the words of Ramirez and Highlander, there can be only one. So
only one great Gonzales. You could be a regular Gonzales, but he's the only great one.
Yep, and Gonzales has been crowned king. He is the champion here at the College of New Jersey, who we would once again like to thank for hosting this tournament, for having us, and again, thanks to Chris and Masterhand Gaming for being one of the best producers you could ever have asked for. And
sure, and so committed to the scene too. That's my boy, yo.
Yeah,
thanks,
exactly.
Chris.
Yeah, that was a solid high five.
Yeah, the acoustics on that were sick.
That was and I want to thank you for being my commentary partner.
Dude,
I was looking forward to doing this, and hope I didn't disappoint, man.
Dude, no, I had a great time, and I've got a whole lot more talking to do on the Melee side of things later. So I don't know if we're going to interview. Are we going to interview Gons? Or?
I think Gons is opting out of interview because he had one yesterday.
Yeah,
sounds everyone's beat today.
Yeah.
And sorry for switching languages.
Dude, don't worry about it. Don't worry. It was a good time. I can read Spanish, I can speak Spanish, but hearing it and understanding it is difficult for me because when someone speaks at it, even though I wouldn't at a native level, it's very difficult because it's quick. Like,
Yeah.
if you brought someone who doesn't speak English and we were talking like at the speed that we do, it'd be probably tough for them. But
That's a man of many talents. He reads English, Spanish, and he reads roles. So,
I can read your role for sure.
absolutely. I am not very good at
Maybe
this
like
game,
7 out of 10 times.
But folks, that is going to do it for us, for everyone here at Master Hand Gaming, alongside Max Ketchum, and I hope we get to do this again. I'm BCE studio announcer saying hasta la próxima here at Master Hand Gaming.
Take care, guys. Have a good one. And watch Melee too. I'll be there.
There you go.